Hello and welcome back to another episode of Inktober. And we're calling this episode the lightning round because I'm going to be catching up on a few days. I had a lot going on recently, so I didn't have time to draw every single day, especially with making some of these videos on top of everything. So first off, I'm going to say this episode is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to be watching the video with you guys as we are, as I'm commentating. And yeah, I've done a couple other things to try to improve the videos. I tried to light myself a little bit better this time. Some of the other episodes were darker, but yeah, basically just getting right into it. I broke my page into 3 different panels so that it would be faster, so I'd get more done within the one day. And I also went with my main character of my Beast Hunter series. Out of all my characters, this is probably the one I've drawn the most, so I just wanted to, I didn't want to have any, I wanted to make sure I could get through it easy. So I basically just drew her in 3 different compositions and went for it. The first one here, she's kind of standing in like a battle pose, getting ready for fighting. And I got to use some of these speed lines, which they're a little bit different than regular speed lines in the way that it's kind of a pattern at the same time. If you look, there's basically a pattern of 3 lines going all the way towards her, connecting to her body in one way or another, and then 5 lines that are kind of almost touching her. And I initially started doing that in a comic where she was sitting around a campfire because I thought it kind of helped give the impression of glowing. And here I just did it because I like how it kind of creates a little bit of a pattern and really really adds the focus onto her. So with the second one, I wanted to do something that I don't usually get the chance to do. So I did something, I did kind of like a little in-between moment, something I wouldn't really get the chance to do in a comic book, but obviously it's just like a quiet little moment of her like sitting on a couch, like in thought. I have actually had like one panel like this before with her when she was at a funeral once, but I didn't really think about that until afterwards, so it was kind of cool. Plus, I really approached it from almost like a figure drawing type method, where I was really just trying to make her pose look realistic, and it almost seems like it could take place in real life. Besides the fact that she's dressed a little bit differently than a normal person would, which was kind of cool. Something that I don't usually see with the Beast Hunter characters because it takes place in a fantasy story. Even though it's not completely out of nowhere too, because I think she looks a little like solemn, which her character is very like almost sad through most of the story. Moving on to the third drawing, I decided to draw just like a standard kind of side portrait of her where she's looking kind of angry because as often as she's kind of sad in the story, she's also usually pretty sassy and angry at the same time. But yeah, these were fun, and I did say in my first video that the cool thing about Inktober was that I got to draw characters in different scenes that I didn't usually get to draw, so kind of had to go back on that for a minute, but at least I'm caught up with everybody now. So That's the thing with Inktober. Is like, I also mentioned at the beginning of the video, you don't have to keep up with I also mentioned that you don't have to, you know, if you fall behind, you could just keep going, but for some reason I really hate it when I really don't like falling behind with Inktober. I try to make a big deal out of it, so it's something I like. I like to finish with everybody else at the very least. I don't mind falling behind a couple days, but when the 31st drawing comes in, I like to be there with everyone. So yeah, this is just we're basically wrapping up now. I'm just mostly filling in the black spots with my brush and ink. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. This was the lightning round, and we should be back to normal videos after this, as far as just one picture at a time. But I'm gonna let this wrap up, and see you later.